Welcome. It's Facts You Don't Know. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more, and first make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything.
Everyone was shocked about the millionaire wedding, but nobody expected this. If a dad in marriage gives away his daughter, part of his soul goes with her. The family is happy, as the wedding signals the beginning of a new life and announces the arrival of new family members. The big parties are the normal thing, but understanding how to give thanks to God for the blessings that come with marriage is a truly transcendental thing about a wedding. Mr. Ajay Munat, a cloth and grain merchant who lives in Lazar, Aurangabad, realized that the marriage of his daughter was so precious that she deserved an exceptional celebration, and he set out to make a celebration that would transcend the wedding day and bless the bride and groom as well as their families, as he was honored by his good deed. He gave the poor 90 homes. Poverty is a scourge which makes no distinction between nations, in the most developed nations to the poorest countries. Poor people have no place to live within their own community. Unfortunately, this condition is seen as a state issue and individuals do not find themselves to be responsible for it. Nevertheless, there are people whose sense of justice lies above those skewed perceptions of poverty. Mr. Ajay Munat is such an exceptional person who feels he can contribute as an individual to improving the quality of life of the most unfortunate people. This outstanding citizen took on the task of providing homes to vulnerable people living in slums and not suffering from addiction. He did so by spending the money he'd earmarked in 90 housings for his daughter's wedding. To Mr. Munat, the 80 lakh rupees he was going to spend in the wedding became the fulfillment of the vision of 90 families comprising over 400 individuals. Miss Ria, daughter of Mr. Munat, and her husband were fortunate enough to hand over the houses directly after the wedding. She said wedding gift was the best. Nevertheless, Mr. Munat celebrated with his family by giving away homes. This donation is much more than a home for the families who got it. The children of the recipient families with a house will have more opportunities to educate themselves and find avenues of social mobility that break the circle of generational poverty. This is the new chapter of history, and I hope the other rich communities will adopt the same idea. We have some obligations towards our community, and we are trying to fulfill them, he said. Decent housing is the path of disadvantaged families and new generations to rebuild their self-esteem. In addition, the house's sanitary facilities and the drinking waters can protect their occupants from the ingestion of polluted water from diseases. Together with his family, Mr. Munat set an example of what rich people can and should do for society. India has 78 million homeless people, and the number increases every day. More importantly, there are 11 million children in that number. Such numbers, and seeing the deplorable conditions the homeless live in, inspired Mr. Munat to take responsibility for supporting 90 people to open up a way out of poverty. This father's example served as an inspiration for business people across India to dedicate themselves to help combat poverty. Mr. Munat demonstrated wealth should not be used for extravagant expenditure. Whereas in Indian society, many people lack the essential. While the nation as a whole appreciates Ajay Munat's commendable step, there are people like Janardhan Reddy who have spent a fortune only to show their statues. He's been spending 500 crores on the wedding of his daughter. They say in the newspapers, Indians are known for the lavish big fat weddings, and that must change. Poverty not only affects poor people, but many social scourges arise from the subhuman circumstances under which the poorest work. Crime, illness, analphabetism, environmental destruction, and in particular the oppression of women and girls are a grim image from which there is little escape. When poor people burn trees for cooking because they have no other energy sources, the world suffers. If a teenage girl is pregnant, society suffers because intergenerational poverty is perpetuated. If children play in contaminated waters, the entire society is threatened by diseases such as cholera, which do not differentiate between rich and poor.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.